Yes, everybody, welcome back to a brand new series today on the channel. Welcome back to Wolves, the Youth Academy Challenge. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why Wolves, why this again, and why a different type of challenge, and what is it? Of course, I've already done the Koln save this year on Football Manager, and I've been waiting since then for a save to sort of grab me in, and I've had thoughts about different things, and a Youth Academy Challenge is really what pulled me in the most, really. And I have ended up going with Wolves. I was going to go with like a tier 9, tier 10 team, but I think the challenge itself would be way too long, and for YouTube purposes it may get boring quite quickly. So we're going with Wolves, obviously already in the top tier, already got a decent financial backing, but what we're going to be doing is just relying purely on the youth facilities. Now, you'll see on the screen now that I went into the pre-game editor. All of that's going to be done in here, and only 5 things would have changed. Now, 2 of those are regarding a transfer embargo, which will mean we'll have a global transfer ban. That will just ensure that I do not sign anyone throughout the majority of this save. We're going to be relying purely on the players that come through, but also just to make sure the save doesn't get boring or give us a major disadvantage as such, we've made all the youth facilities, youth coaching and so on, the top 20 best you can have in the game. I don't want to go sort of 3 or 4 seasons down the line we've not had one good player in our youth intake, and we've got like the quality of a championship team. It's unlikely, but it may happen, so I want that reassurance that we're going to be still grabbing good players in, because that's what I do normally if we were to sign players. So, hopefully that's sort of cleared up the rules. I'm going to be setting up all the save here, because obviously I've done those 5 things in the pre-game editor. I want you all to see how obviously legit and stuff it is. So, in game now, you can see that obviously we've got the screen here. It's the 19.1.0 update, and the Wolves Youth database is there. If you guys want this file, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm sure I'll be able to put it on Steam Workshop for you guys. So as you can see here, the database I'm going to use is the lowest league, just England, because that's the only league we're going to be managing in. The Vanarama National League, North, South and above. We're going to tick prevent use of in-game editor. That way you guys will know that I've not used it and I won't be able to use it throughout this save. And other than that, I think that's what we're going to be doing. I could put disable player attribute masking, but it's not going to really matter either way. I might put it on just so throughout the save we might see players and so on. Because we're not signing players, it's not a massive issue for me. Normally I'd leave that unticked, just so I actually have to scout players. I can't just search the best players in the world straight away. But because we're not signing anyone, I'll keep that ticked, and it may become useful for opposition players and so on that we're looking at. And the rest of the database, I don't really need this many players. I always like having those South American players on there. So I've got the South American current international players and the players from top division clubs, and the European current international players, top division clubs, top clubs, continental reputation, national reputation. Gives me a player count of over 60,000, so plenty of players in the database. And obviously we're going to be picking Wolves as our team. I'm going to click the suggested, obviously, badges and past playing experience for Wolves. And that's it. But before we start off today's video, guys, please go and check out OneFootball, the #1 football app out there, in my opinion. They've really helped out the channel, helped us go forward with this channel. You can check out all the live scores, all the live news about your team and around the world. Check it out. The link is in the description down below. So then here we go, announce as manager. Now I don't think the embargo has kicked in yet. I believe I put it for like the 1st or 2nd of July. So once I've gone through everything, I'll holiday till then just to make sure that all goes through a-okay. But here we go, the start of the challenge, start of this hopefully fantastic series that we're all going to enjoy together. As always, let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoy it. Obviously, the guys with, some of your comments are going to pop up on some of the videos. So obviously, get involved and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But we're going to go through a quick look through the team. For you guys that aren't too familiar with Wolves, I'm sure there'll be plenty of Wolves fans watching. what tactics I'm going to use, and so on and so forth. So today's going to be an introduction. In the next episode, we'll go through pre-season and kick off the season. We don't have the real fixtures for the Premier League, so the start of the season is pretty tough, to be fair, with Spurs and Chelsea as our first 2 games. So if we can grab anything out of there, that'll be a pretty good start. So tactic-wise, I'm going to just click create my own style for a sec. And what I'm going to be playing, the 3 formations that I'm going to be playing. Firstly, of course, I'll change and amend roles. I do want to try and replicate Nuno's style, basically, how Wolves currently play in real life. The 5-2-3 or the 3-4-3 or 5-2-2-1, 5-4-1 as the game calls it, whatever you want to call it. That sort of style, I really want to replicate that. I know it's quite difficult with Neves and Moutinho in game because they're both quite similar as players, but that's the first one that I'm going to be looking at. The second formation is going to be something, well, pretty similar to it, to be fair, but it is going to be a 3-5-2. However, we're going to have obviously wing backs, and I'm going to be playing just a more attacking midfield there. So you still got that sort of three-man strike force, but you still got 5 at the back. Plenty of people actually say this is how they'd prefer Wolves to play in real life, but we're also going to be attempting that. And finally, the next one isn't going to be a 5 at the back. It's going to be more a 4-1-4-1. With either the midfielders a little bit more attacking or just a flatter one there. This is probably going to be one to actually play against the bigger teams. I actually think this is not too dissimilar, because if you have, say, someone like Dendoncker there as a half-back, he's going to be sitting in there. So he's literally got a back 5 anyway. So it's not too dissimilar to the other 2, but just probably very more defensive. So they're the 3 tactics I'm going to roll with. Obviously, throughout pre-season, I'll determine roles and instructions, so we can talk more in depth about that in the next episode. And of course, I'll go through all the tactics, the set piece tactics that we're going to be running with as well, and what training schedules I used over pre-season. The beauty about this series is because I'm not going to be spending a lot of time scouting or doing transfers. I want to spend a lot more time on the training sort of thing. On the last save, which was my Koln save, we did very little of that. I sort of wanted it as a let's play, just to smash through the season, see how we could get on with tactics. So I left all the training and stuff to my assistant. So that's something I want to be a little bit more hands-on with in this save. As I say, we've already looked through the schedule, but the 3 competitions, of course, that we're going to be in are the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. We're going to quickly look at our team, though. We have got our squad view on here. Big up Friday Night FM for that squad view. But I'm going to quickly just go and report so you guys can see ability-wise, potential-wise, who are our best players. So the best thing is, obviously, with the Youth Academy Challenge is that we can't re-sign players. So say the older players that are currently in the squad, we don't actually have too many, which is a good thing for us. We don't actually have too many, but when they pass on, obviously we're going to need players to come up from the academies. We can sell players, but we can't bring players in. So first of all, obviously the older guys, John Ruddy, Jean Moutinho, Rui Patricio. 2 of those, at least, in Moutinho and Patricio, are going to be starters for the first couple of years, at least, I'd say. Ability-wise, the best players are Jota and Neves. They're both only 21. Neves, of course, is going to be a star on this save. I'm sure plenty of you guys know all about him. And for him as a central midfielder, passing of 17, technique of 16, first touch 14. Hopefully we get a few long shots off him. Set pieces, he's very good as well. And I'm expecting we're going to have some huge bids for him. Luckily, we've got him for another 5 seasons. So Neves is going to be the key part of this save. Jota as well, as a winger or forward, I actually like him. I'd assume we're going to see him a little bit as a striker this season. Although his roles don't seem that he's that comfortable there. I want to see if we can get him as an advanced forward. Because the other guy up front is Raul Jimenez, who's not a bad player, but again, he's only on loan and we can't actually sign him. Johnny on loan as well, we can't sign. Other than that, though, we've got some strong players who I'm sure we'll learn more about. I'll sort of highlight some of these throughout the series. Adama Traore, who's a new signing, just very, very quick. On the ball, he's very, very good. Technically, other than his sort of dribbling and technique, he's not actually that great. So we're going to be relying on him to get on the ball a little bit. Another player that I really like the look of as well is Ruben Vinagre. Only 19 years of age, got plenty of potential and can play all down the left-hand side. So this season we'll be seeing him as a left wing back and more, well, a left winger as well. although he's not nowhere near the finished product at the moment, he's got a little bit of pace. We'll definitely be seeing him in the cup games and so on. And of course, Leander Dendoncker, who's on loan at the moment, but he's going to be joining. Still only 23. Still quite a hot name in Europe. A lot of bigger clubs were looking at him, and Wolves managed to side him, although not in real life. He's not played too much yet, but I'm sure he will. So that's the majority of the first team done and dusted. The academy, I mean, straight away, the key man here is going to be Morgan Gibbs-White. He's, at the moment, potential of 2.5 to 4.5 stars. Probably does deserve a boost on Football Manager, but in real life, he's coming to the first team. And in this, I think I'm going to chuck him in the first team for the first season. Still only 18 years of age. Still stats, very, very strong, very good mentally, very good physically. And as a central midfielder or an attacking midfielder, he'll work very, very well. Other than that, new signing John Kitolano as well has got very, very good potential. And to be honest, as a left back, he could come into the first team within the first couple of seasons of this save. Only 18, of course, where Johnny goes, I think Kitolano is going to be key in that sort of area. Quickly click on reports again. You've got players such as, you know, the potential John Kitolano going, Rafa Mir coming back out from his loan, could come back next season and do something. Or Morgan Gibbs-White, Noel Lennis, who's been a very, very hotly tipped player for a number of years. Not quite done it as of yet, but again, we could see him in the first team due to his pace. He's got an okay finishing. He's still very, very raw as a player, but he can become a good talent for us. Other than that, at the moment, the talents aren't superb. We've got some good, decent players there, but no one really that is going to raise a few eyebrows in the Premier League. Two under 18 players, Dong De-hee, who was signed from Notts County, Chinese guy who's a forward. Looks okay. Could come in and do something, especially with that Asian nationality as a Chinese. Could get some merchandise sales and so on. And Andreas Søndergaard, who's a goalkeeper, who's Danish, doesn't look fantastic at the moment. But that's all the outline of the team. There is plenty of players that we can use for our disposal. I think the first 2 years is going to be quite routine. Quite, you know, we've got this big team. Touch wood, we're going to finish top half this season. But season 3 onwards, I think it may be a struggle depending on who we get in these youth intakes and so on. Doesn't actually say yet when our youth intake is, but it's normally the February-March sort of time. So I'm really looking forward to those dates, because that's obviously when we're going to be pulling some of these players. And before we quickly holiday on to double check the transfer embargo has gone all ahead. Pre-season friendly, we've got 4. We've got CSKA Moscow is a good test for us. They're a good team, Champions League quality. VfL Bochum, who are from Germany. Jumia, who are actually an affiliate club of Wolves in real life. They've got plenty of Wolves players in on loan, which will be interesting for us to look at. And then we'll play Celta Vigo. So a couple of tough tests there. We're going to be playing around with the tactics, playing around with training and so on. But yeah, let's get forward and see if that embargo goes in and that confirms the start of this save. And there we go. There is the transfer embargo on our club till 2050. Confirmation of it there, and crazy. There we go. Transfer ban until the 3rd of December 2050, which means we cannot sign any players. It's all coming from the academy. And there we go. That signals the start of the journey as Wolves boss the Youth Academy Challenge. Of course, we've already had to move away a couple of friendlies, but we don't need to worry about that. We'll talk about that more in depth in the next episode, guys. But make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it today. Hopefully, I'll see you again for episode 2, where we're going to be kicking off the season against Tottenham Hotspur. In the meantime, I'm going to be messing around with a couple of tactics. Hopefully, trying to get some results in pre-season. But until next time, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll see you all very, very soon.